Janice, give me some of that dating foolishness.
Yes, sir.
What would you tell him if he were your client?
To go after a different type. He has the wrong type. I don't think he just doesn't seem to be on the right track. Like I said, it's a constant cycle. He's going out with the same exact woman every time, just a younger one. Once she ages out, he goes for the younger one. So I would say to find somebody closer to his age, start looking to values rather than just pleasure.
Model/dating coach says Leonardo DiCaprio is doing himself a disservice dating younger women. Welcome to Manage for Highlights Daily. Today we are highlighting a video from the Michael Knowles Show. He asked a panel of conservative ladies this question.
Leo dating the young gals. Normal or creepy?
Leonardo DiCaprio dating younger women, is that creepy? The ladies had some interesting answers to this question, and we would like to dive a little deeper into some of these answers. So let's talk about it. Now it's time for us to get into this and do what we gotta do. Because we men, ain't we? We men, ain't we?
And Billy Ray, what do you say?
I don't think it's necessarily wrong what he's doing. If he was my dating client, I definitely wouldn't recommend it. I think it is representative of, male-female dynamics in our society. I think as a man, he's looking for purity, the ability to lead in a relationship. And I think a woman is looking for, the older man that's more established in life. But I think at the end of the day, this is a constant cycle that he finds himself in, and a cycle that he will never really be fulfilled in. I personally believe in traditional values. I believe in the nuclear family. I think you find real fulfillment in monogamy and having a family, and he's doing himself a disservice by not partaking in that.
I like her take, and I agree with her in general. However, this is where we stop generalizing and focus on the individual. We're talking about Leonardo DiCaprio. What's fulfilling to Leonardo DiCaprio? What's a disservice to Leonardo DiCaprio? That is Leonardo DiCaprio's business. And that's the point of this video. What we discuss in this space is not a one-man-fits-all approach, ideology, philosophy, whatever you want to call it. There are levels to this. This is Leonardo DiCaprio. This man is on top of the food chain. He has an abundance of options when it comes to women. Now, this is what's pissing these women off. Look at the women this man that is part of the 1% is choosing to date. Young and above average looking women. If pumping and dumping younger women is a disservice to Leonardo DiCaprio, why does he keep repeating what he's doing? This man is in his 50s. It's these women that we should look at because they keep participating. Nobody is forcing these women to do anything. It's their body, their choice, right? Leonardo DiCaprio has a track record dating younger women, and he never married a single one of them. These women know what they are getting themselves into, and they don't stop. Now let's get into the foolishness.
What would you tell him if he were your client?
To go after a different type. He has the wrong type. I don't think he just doesn't seem to be on the right track. Like I said, it's a constant cycle. He's going out with the same exact woman every time, just a younger one. Once she ages out, he goes for the younger one. So I would say to find somebody closer to his age, start looking to values rather than just pleasure.
This is exactly like the crap Amber Heard psychologist was spewing in court. Being able to make an accurate analysis of Johnny Depp without even talking to him. Again, we are talking about an individual. So it's not smart to make assumptions and generalizations without talking to this person. So if we talk about an individual, we make our analysis based on the content that is presented to us. We don't know what's going on in this man's mind, but I always say, focus on the information that is consistent. She already said it. Leonardo DiCaprio keeps dating younger women and dumps them when they age out. Why do you advise him to date older women? Is he unhappy? Does he dump these younger women because he can't get along with them? Could it be that this man does not want a long-term relationship? This information is essential. Look at our John Cena video. He made it clear from the beginning he doesn't want to have children. Some men are just not interested in the family thing, the relationship thing. Some men just love to be alone. We need to talk to DiCaprio to get a better understanding of the path he's choosing to walk. And what does an older woman have to offer Leonardo DiCaprio that a younger woman cannot, that is deemed valuable to him? Now let's get to the part where we generalize.
But the problem for a lot of these guys, I think, is that their value is pleasure. The thing that they most value is just going out and having fun and feeling good. And so that's one of the problems of our modern society, is that the highest moral maxim is, if it feels good, do it. Deborah, you had said that, look, if he likes it, if that's his thing, who am I to judge? But hasn't that thinking gotten us down this crazy social rabbit hole to begin with?
Yes, I am definitely not taking the libertarian stance on here. If I had the choice to break it up, why not use a little bit of power? But from a more freedom perspective, I just don't have a horrible problem with people exercising things that aren't illegal. If she was underage, I'd be riding at dawn to free that girl. But I definitely think that this is, in society, especially modern society, men and women, but especially young men, are kind of enabled to pursue one of two things. And this is the same throughout all of history. It's either fulfillment or pleasure. And the relationships that he's seeking are purely pleasure-based. There's obviously not going to be fulfillment if these people are decades younger than you. They probably don't share the same values. I know that my values at 19 are completely different than they are at 22 years old. And I can't even imagine what they're going to be like when I'm 30 or 40 or nearing Leo's age around 50. So I think we need to encourage young men to start pursuing, and women, just fulfilling relationships rather than just, Tinder, Hinge, swiping on all these apps, getting a little bit of a dopamine hit on a random Tuesday night.
Now here is where we generalize. Most men still want long-term relationships, but it is most men that are invisible to most women, because women in general are only interested in dating men like Leonardo DiCaprio. And that's why women are responsible for hookup culture, leading to men opting out of the dating market. That's why it's problematic for these women that Leonardo DiCaprio doesn't want to settle and just wants to especially banging younger women, because these so-called strong and independent women think their college degrees, jobs, and career is going to make them attractive to high-value men. No, it makes them attractive to other women. Leonardo DiCaprio, the man that is on top of the food chain, is choosing younger women, which confirms everything we say about high-value men who don't date older women and don't care about women's accolades. DiCaprio is visible. That's why it matters what he's doing. And there are only a handful of men that are able to do what Leonardo DiCaprio is doing. Therefore, this is on women. Women perpetuate this hookup culture. Women do not have to engage with a man that doesn't want to get married and does not want to have children.
Would you guys do it? Like, have any of you had the impulse to date an older man? If Leo DiCaprio came knocking on the door, I assume every girl would say, okay, great. Or no? I mean, how would you feel about it personally, Lauren?
Well, I was actually telling a friend yesterday that a couple years ago, I had gone on a couple dates with a guy, and I didn't find out his age until I believe it was like the second or third date. And he was significantly older than me. And so when I say, like, I understand why certain women date older men for maturity purposes, this was the extreme to where I wouldn't date someone who was of the age that he was. But I think what we run into, especially living in Los Angeles, and Deborah might run into this as well, living in New York City, I feel like so many guys have what's called Peter Pan syndrome. And I've definitely dated some, and they just don't want to grow up. They don't want to commit. And I feel like women always have this natural maternal instinct for not only finding a spouse, but for finding a family. And I don't think women really grow out of that. We might go through phases, but I feel like men don't really even desire that. until later. And so that's why we run into this issue.
Bullshit. What is Peter Pan syndrome? It's obvious that younger men are not able to provide the resources older men can provide because men earn more money as they age. Women's sexual market value peaks at a young age, so she will have access to men that have resources. But where are these modern women that are looking to start a family under the age of 25? Check this out. This is 2020. New study. Millennial women are delaying having children due to their careers. Janice, read.
The SOFA and Modern Fertility study found that 3 out of 5 respondents were willing to delay starting a family until they reached a certain job title or level within their career.
While these women are focusing on their careers, what do you think these women are doing in the meantime? Let me give you a hint. They perpetuate this hookup culture. Over 50% are single. Janice, read.
Financial considerations. Earlier this year, the online personal finance company, SOFA, and reproductive health company Modern Fertility partnered together to survey thousands of women about why they were waiting to have children. The number one leading reason was money, with 60% of participants reporting that they're delaying childbearing due to not having enough money, and 51% reporting that they want to earn a higher salary first.
We all know by now, women are naturally looking for a man's resources and they are hypergamous. Why do you think these women keep trying to bag Leonardo DiCaprio? They don't love him. They love what he can provide. The problem is that without marriage, without children, the parasite cannot parasitize for life. That's why I want you to be careful with this Samantha Lee, Tyree's ex-wife, that's giving dating advice now because her baby with Tyrese was barely 1 year old and she was out. Bag secured. Remember Janet Jackson? Married a billionaire, had his baby and divorced him immediately. Secured the bag and took half of his resources. Marriage and children is a way for women to retire, to become millionaires. That's why they don't like what Leonardo DiCaprio is doing, because it's not beneficial for women if high value men are just gonna pump and dump them. Remember this?
He was a billionaire and he was cool with me having my own money on the side and like not relying. I would need an exit strategy. Like I'd need like 250K in the bank and a source of revenue coming in. I'm not going to be like, this man leaves me for someone younger or whatever, and then I'm just fucked with nothing and I left everything for this billionaire and now I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Like, no. I like taking care of myself. So
yes,
that's not,
girl.
Thank you.
I love hearing strong, independent women.
Yeah, I don't want to be trapped by a man. I think that scares the fuck out of me.
It's modern women that have this Peter Pan syndrome. It's modern women who are not interested in long-term relationships, starting families. They get bored easily. They have no problems filing for divorce, and they have no problems taking alimony and more than enough child support money under the guise of independence. Leonardo DiCaprio is onto something. This man is protecting himself from being divorce raped. Can you blame him? Chances are high that's gonna happen. Just look at the data and statistics. It doesn't matter how famous and rich you are. Look at Brad Pitt. Look at Tom Cruise, Bill Gates, and look at the amount of money these men lose in court. It's ridiculous. They could feed a whole country with that money. You're a fool for marrying modern women. Welcome to modern society. It's disheartening to live in a time when things that were once considered sacred are now treated as meaningless, disposable, or even the subject of ridicule.
Deborah, I love that for you, the example of the low status guy who is an investment banker in New York. I love it's like, yeah, those investment bankers, no, these poor guys, they're just hustling.
They got no time.
That's true.
They're slaves to their bosses. People want to say that women submit to their bosses. You should see an investment banker. They say jump. They say, okay, how high? How high?
Manosphere, we working. Protect yourself at all times. This video has officially been highlighted.